Hi, this is Victoria from Victoria Violet's Tarot. I'm coming to you today with the forecast for the week of May 10th through the 16th. We're doing something a little different today, channeling, and so I'm also going to give 4 cards that relate to this time frame so that we can more easily navigate this time, as it will be a little bit of a tricky situation. And so I'm going to start with shuffling as usual, and then I'll go into reading the channeling that Spirit gave me for this week, this time frame. Please give us advice on how best to navigate this time with these 3 planets that are retrograding at the same time. Okay. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to go ahead and read the channeling that was given to me for this time frame, and then we'll go ahead and turn over the cards and see if we can match everything up, okay? So the first thing they want to say is Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers. They want to tell you that this is your day. So we want you to be happy. We want you to not feel stressed out. We want to ask you to calm down. Spirit says this is your day to shine, to be adored, to be loved, to be fawned over. And so don't sweat the small things. Let's just have a wonderful Mother's Day and carry on, okay? First thing they want to tell us is that this is a waning moon that we're under for today, and it is in the sign of Sagittarius, which is pretty steady. Nothing bad, nothing that we have to worry about in reference to today. The only thing that they did tell me is that some moms will feel like they're getting a little bit irritated today. So just calm down, relax, and have a wonderful day. This is your day. Every day should be your day. I mean, come on. How much greater can it get that you actually brought a human into this world? So you know what? You deserve it. Take this day out of all days of the, calendar that maybe are not given to you, or you're not maybe felt made to be feeling that you're great, that you're awesome, that you are treasured. Well, today's your day, so you are treasured, and understand that you are something that God just feels like you're the most beautiful vessel that He could have made and utilized to bring humankind into this world. So please be blessed today. The next thing that we want to do is we want to talk about that this energy that we're feeling at this time has a lot of feeling of wanting to have endings, and the energy is because of the trine, is feeling like a Piscean energy, which is not good energy to be making major decisions, okay? So we also want to say that Taurus and Capricorn are also trining at this time, which is outrageous. We have so much activity planetary wise that some of us will feel a little bit overwhelmed, and so we're asked again to calm down. Taurus and Capricorn are good, solid energies, more earthy, more grounded, so please take that into consideration. If you don't feel like doing anything, if you feel inertia today or even through this week, it's not so much that you're feeling lazy, it's more that you're just feeling the vibes, the energy that's grounding you, that's keeping you still. There's nothing wrong with that if that's what you feel like you need to do, okay? Nothing wrong with that at all. Sometimes we just need rest too. So what does the Venus retrograde mean for us? Well, for one, we have Venus that's retrograding on the 10th through the 16th. That's a whole week's worth of OMG. So along with that, we also have Saturn retrograding from the 10th through the 14th. And as we talked about, Saturn doesn't fall too far behind Jupiter as far as being planets of war or planets of pushing and pulling against each other, temptations and irritabilities and confusions. And so then now we have Jupiter in retrograde as well, and Jupiter is going to retrograde from May 14th, and that's going to last even longer than the normal 4 weeks that we normally see the retrograde for Jupiter, which is another video, story for another video. So for right now, the problem or the situation is that we have 3 planets that are all aligning at the same time, and the energy is very intense. By intense, I mean that, again, there's going to be times when you feel irritable, you don't feel calm, you don't feel like relaxing, you don't feel like hearing things, dealing with things, listening to things, or having people in your face. You're going to feel all of this, like, come on, hurry up, get it out, just spit it out, just tell me what it is, or just get it over, get it done with, let's just do it. So there's a lot of irritability, there's a lot of imbalance, feeling like the feeling is like overwhelming, it's feeling like it's too much, too strong. Take a deep breath, guys. Take a big deep breath. Remember your breathing at this time. Remember your meditation, your yoga. Remember a time out. Yes, adults can have time out, positive time outs. Some of this energy is even going to be so intense that we're going to want to cry. We're just going to feel like we want to cry, having crying spats. Some is going to be like a 2-year-old tantrum, crying spats at, I just don't want this, I just don't need this, I just feel like I just need to get this energy out and over with. And I'm with you. The other people are going to feel emotional, more like a maybe like a crab energy, the Cancer energy that's very emotional and feeling hurt and feeling, you know, let down. So what do we do with these changes? Well, the first thing they're telling us, because the energy is so intense, it's also going to bring these things, these themes are going to be major parts of this time frame. And I want to say, even though we're giving it from the 10th through the 16th, I want to say let's look at it until at least maybe the 18th or the 20th, because retrogrades are tricky. People always say they last 4 weeks. I don't know, maybe it's because I'm a Libra, but I always feel them at least 2 weeks before and at least 2 weeks after. So for Librians, it's a little bit harder to maneuver because we tend, or any air sign, we tend to feel things more deeply. And so any which thing that changes, we can feel it right off. So just know that. So changes, choices, and decisions. So, okay, what do we do when situations are retrograde? And these are the major themes of our life at this time frame. So the thing that we want to first talk about is that, yeah, it may bring many changes along with the retrogrades. And that's fine. The only thing is that some of us are feeling very extreme. The energies are going to be overwhelming. So we have to remember that. The other things that the retrogrades are bringing is the feeling that you want a change in your life in general, that you have even a change of heart. What could that be concerning? It could be concerning a relationship. It could be concerning your job, your profession. It could be concerning your situation that you're in, possibly desiring to make a move to either a new home, a new apartment, a place that you maybe have been thinking about moving, even another state. So all of these things could be coming into play into this situation and energy at this time frame. So let's take relationship first. It's stating this: wait if you're in a relationship that has just begun to feel overwhelming and unbearable. Wait till these 3 signs are no longer aligned in this way. that they're no longer trining each other in a trifecta of discord, right? Of undoing, if you will. For those in a relationship that have been in bad relationships for a while, they're giving you the go-ahead, they're giving you the blessing that at this time, make the changes. The winds of change are upon us, and they're telling us that it's okay to make those changes at this time. If this is something that you feel unbearable and that you just can't deal with anymore. If this is something you've been going through for a while, then it is a good time right now to make that change, because it will have positive impact on your future, okay? For others, you're asked to go inwards. You're asked to look inside of yourself. You're asked to go within and look back at the last 3 or 4 months. And you're asked to look to see who was there. Who was there to actually help you through this period of time? Who was there to get you through this period? We are asked to treasure those people that assisted us in getting through these periods of hard time and hard knocks. We're asked to treasure those people, to treasure those individuals that maybe we just didn't give a second thought to, even though if it were not for them, we would not have gotten through the last 3-4 months of this time in 2020. And that's the truth. The others that they're talking about are the ones who made your life unbearable, the ones that were selfish, the ones that only did for themselves and looked out for themselves, me first, the narcissist in your life. We're being asked to let them go. Again, I tell my people that have been with me for the last 15, 25 years, I don't tell you what to do. I only give you the advice that Spirit gives me. And that's what they're telling me to tell you, is that if you've had someone that instead of bringing you up, lifting you up at this time frame, it's time to cut those cords and cut those ties that bind, because if they haven't given you a leg up, then they've pushed you down, and you don't need that type of individual in your life. And that might be the energy that needs to be released at this time to give you that push so that you can move forward energetically to positive things, to blessings, okay? The other thing that they're stating at this time frame is that you might be feeling the desire for release of that negative energy, release of energies that no longer serve, release of things that feel overwhelming or heavy. You may be finding that you want to do something to yourself. You may be finding that you want to share more with the world of who you really are. Who are you? That's what the universe is asking you. That's what Spirit is asking. Who are you? Do you present who you really are to the world, or do you hide that because you don't feel like the world is ready to accept you or wouldn't accept you as who you are? So they're asking us to be more real, to be more genuine, to stop putting on the facade, to stop putting on those masks, because in the end, you want people to like you for who you are and accept you for who you are. You don't want to have to continually be putting on a front or a face so that someone can like you, because in the end, it's exhausting, and all you're doing is damaging yourself. You're not doing yourself any favors. If they're going to accept you, wonderful. And if they don't need you and they don't deserve you. Be who you are all the time. And I promise you, you'll be happier. You will be a happier person. Others at this time period will find themselves literally wanting to change themselves in a image way, in a more personal way, outwardly, that people can see. Like for myself, I found myself cutting my hair. I just felt like I needed a change. I needed to feel more natural, more natural. And so for some of you, you will be cutting your hair or changing your makeup or changing your wardrobe or changing, you know, your home around to just give a positive energy. There's nothing wrong with feng shui. Look that up. We'll do a video on feng shui. Beautiful energy, setting up your home in the way that is going to provide you with the most positive energy in your home, to where it's set up to help you energetically and not block you or provide negative spaces for negativity to sit and to fester. So think about all of that. And they're saying clutter. If you have a lot of clutter, or if you have things that are not clutter but maybe you're not using, if you know that you bought something a year ago and it's still sitting in your closet, or it's still sitting in a box, maybe it's time to gift it. Maybe it's time to Goodwill it, or to donate it, or to offer up it on the internet to sell it. You don't need those things. So it's time to declutter. It's almost like a spring cleaning, a little bit late, but better late than never. So that's what we're being asked to do, is to remove the things that we no longer need, that are no longer serving us. The only thing with removing old energies, and the way that it's asking us, and the energy is so strong, is that it is asking for us to please think about what we're removing, like hair, because yeah, it does grow back, but at the same time, choices in general, sometimes if we make them too hastily, we can't change them back. Words that we say hastily, we cannot keep them. We can't undo them. We can't, you know, hit the remote and rewind it. So do think about the things that you need to remove from your life before you remove them. But it's a good time for certain individuals that I mentioned to go ahead and make those changes, okay? A blessing in disguise is what they're calling all of this. Why? Because the decisions that we're making are truly our own. They're yours and yours alone. Nobody can make these decisions for you. And I'm talking to adults from 18 up. I'm not talking to children that are, you know, underage, that you do need to follow what your parents say, or an adult that maybe can give you better advice. But I'm talking to the adults. You're an adult. You don't need permission. If you know that something's not right, or you know that it's time for that change, then make it. The universe is behind you. Don't let this retrograde make you feel like, oh my gosh, it's a retrograde. Let's hide under the tables. Let's hide, you know, and lock the doors until it passes. No, we're navigating this together. I'm giving you the advice that Spirit is giving me to give to you, to get through this period unscathed as best as possible, okay? Again, the theme is fear. We need to release this fear. We need to, this week especially, think of this as a blessing. They're even stating that this is not a time period that normally comes very often. 3 planets retrograding at the same time is kind of different. So try to find inner peace. Work on that self. Work on yourself. Work on your inner light. Has somebody maybe stowed that loving kindness that was within you? Has someone maybe that you've been around rubbed off on you and you don't like yourself anymore, or you don't like what you see in the mirror? Or maybe you had children and got married, and you're living in a situation that you feel has changed the person you used to be to a new person that you maybe not like, or maybe didn't feel comfortable with that change. Not because you don't love these people, but because you feel like you lost a bit of yourself. This is a good time to work on yourself. Who are you? What do you really want for yourself? This is a good time to think about that. And then once everything starts going back to normal, the planets start going forward again, good time to make those changes. But right now it's a good time to sit down and think about the changes that you want to bring about in your life. We can't blame others for the way that we feel if we don't make those changes that we're being prompted to make at this time. Navigating. We're being asked to navigate this on our own. We have 2 cents right here in case you can't see. I have 2 cents. 1, 2. Why? At this time frame, what you're going to find a lot is people wanting to give you their 2 cents. The universe is giving you your own 2 cents. You can ask people for advice, but always take your own when it's feeling innate, when it's feeling intuitive. That's when it's right. That's when you go with your gut feeling, because that is something internal, your internal compass that points north all the time. And that's what God wants you to do, is follow that compass. Follow that compass. So we're being asked by the universe to use our own 2 cents to help us navigate this time with logic and little emotion. Logic and little emotion. If Venus was steady and going forward, then we wouldn't have to deal with being careful with our emotions. But at this time, because Venus is going retrograde along with Jupiter and Saturn, it is an emotional time. It's a confusing time. It's an overwhelming time. And it's going to last for a little bit. So I want to say right now, let logic lead you. Let logic be what steers the ship, so that there's smoother sailing, so that you don't hit so many hiccups. Okay? And lastly, they're asking for your finances to be cared for. So what can these retrogrades bring, especially with the 3 planets together? For sure, surprises can come. Definitely, surprises can come. But with deals, I see that if you started something prior to the retrograde of Venus beginning, I want to say that that is going to go forward for you. But I don't see that they're going to be completed, especially the way that you desired. It's going to be completed, but there's going to be a little bit of maybe hesitations or a little bit of complications. It's going to go forward, but it's not going to be entirely the way that you expected. For those of us that haven't started anything, I want to say good. Don't. For jobs that you were looking for prior to the retrograde, I think you're going to find that you will have a job. For those of us that have started looking for jobs during the retrograde, they may not come right away. Deals may not come right away. They may not take form, shape. They may not complete themselves until after the retrograde is done, at least the Venus part. Why I'm saying that is because Venus is usually a beautiful, giving, generous energy. And the planet is going backwards. So even in our love relationships, we can have hiccups, we can have ups, we can have downs, we can feel overwhelmed, like, oh my God, can't stand this person, I want to let them go. I just can't handle it anymore. But what we need to realize, that's where the logic comes in. It's not us necessarily. It's the energy that's overwhelming. And because it's overwhelming, it's going to feel that way. So those are the things that they wanted to give you as far as advice is concerned. We've already shuffled. So let's see what advice they can further give us tarot-wise to help us to further navigate this difficult time, and what we can also expect. Let's see if they give us something different or if they match up what I discussed, okay? Again, This is a time for logic. So they're asking for patience. Patience because things are not quite finished. On some instances, things are just not quite completed yet. So there's some mixing going on. See how they're pouring one cup into the other, one cup into the other. And then you have the angel with one foot on the earth and one foot in the water. So things are in between, guys. Right now it's not a good time to make decisions. It's just not. For some of us, it's time to just think things through. For some of us, the energy is telling us the deals are in the works, but they're just not quite mixed yet. Don't give up hope. Just have patience. Have patience with yourself. Have patience with the process, and everything will go better, okay? Victory. The outcome is victory. Look at that. We can celebrate. For some of us, going back to work is a celebration. Why? Because we didn't have, because we were caught without. We can't look forward and backwards at the same time. So they're asking for you to please look forward, look to positive things. This too shall pass. For many of us, we will have victory. We will have positive things coming at this time frame, even though the trine is really tricky, but it will be okay. So please know, please know, I would never give you advice to have positivity, to have you looking forward towards things if things were all going to be negative. So these are good cards to give us indicators of what's to come. It's coming, just be patient. Again, they're asking for strength. They're asking for inner strength and resolve. I can understand anybody that tells me at this time frame more inner strength, more patience. I get it, guys. I get it. But that's what the energy is calling for. It's calling for us to be strong, calling for us not to give up hope, not to give up hope, because this is going to pass. This time frame is intense. We know that. But it's going to pass. And the worst of the coronavirus is behind us, which is a positive thing. So let's start looking forward towards good things this summer. And our last card, the energy is telling us some of us are being stressed to our limit. Some of us have lost. Some of us feel like failure has occurred, but no, it's just a heavy energy. So those of us that maybe suffer from mental health, this time frame may be a little bit overwhelming and taxing for you. I do advise that you please, do your meditations, take your medication, follow the doctor's advice, talk to your friends and family, find someone to talk to. This too shall pass. It's not going to stay that way forever. It just won't. Let's see what next energy is coming, because I don't want to leave on that negative note. For some of us, it is an overwhelming energy. And it's going to feel like, you can't believe that you're going through this yet again. But it's going to be okay. There's change coming. There's change coming. Whatever's coming at this time frame, these 2 weeks, these 4 weeks, let's say tops, it's supposed to end, guys. Whatever is looking like it's ending, it's supposed to end. This is a time of removing the old to make room for the new. Removing what is no longer needed, no longer necessary. That's what they're stating. Removing what's no longer serving your greater good. So release it with love and light and let it go. Even if it's a relationship that needs to be removed, let it go. Let it go with love, so that love, true love, real love, safe, healthy love can come to you full circle. I hope that you liked this reading. I do feel that we're going to go through some things. Something's going to be a struggle, and some things are going to feel easy when you thought they were going to be a struggle. So with that, I am letting you go, and I am being very hopeful and realistic that we're all going to get through this together. And so I hope you like this reading. If you do, please hit the like button, please subscribe, please share, and until next time, this is Victoria Violet's Tarot. If you need a reading, please look at the description. It tells you how to go about doing so. Thank you so much for this time that we've shared. Until we see each other again. Bye-bye.